Hello everyone and welcome to the Commentator Ninja channel. My name is Mary Layton. I'm the Commentator Ninja, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic, a very serious topic, a topic that means a lot to me, and as evidenced by all of the feedback that I got on a recent Instagram post about it, a topic that is important to you as well. We are talking, of course, about female athletes in the sport of ninja and the equitable or lack of equitable opportunities that they are being given within the sport, and how that has the potential to impact the growth of the sport as a whole. So before I catch you up on what Instagram post I am talking about, take a look at the shirt. I am wearing my favorite Propeller Life shirt. It's great. Reason I'm wearing a Propeller Life shirt today is because we are running a promo with Neighborhood Ninjas. If you use the code NINJA, all capital letters, at checkout when you buy from Propeller Life, you will not only get a discount on your purchase, but you'll also have a donation that gets made to Neighborhood Ninjas to help us build our ninja playground. Yes, we are still fundraising for that. Very excited to see that actually happen. So if you want to go get some fantastic supplements, they have vegan options. The flavors are great. I use them myself, especially their BCAAs. Always use them after my workout. They are a great company with some great products, so definitely check them out. I'll link them in the show notes. All right, so the Instagram post that I'm talking about.
You see, man made the clouds to take us over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water, like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world. But it would be nothing without a woman or a girl.
Now, typically when I post things about female athletes and the sport of ninja, the response is usually good, but it's not this good. I had over 42 comments on this particular post, lots of shares. Thank you so much everybody for chiming in and helping spread the word. 42 comments, all original thoughts or replies from all genders, all sections of the sport of ninja chiming in on this topic. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Taylor Johnson says, coming from a female who dropped from this division and possibly the league because I feel like I fit in nowhere, yeah, I think we can do better. Jenny Kavanaugh replying to Taylor Johnson, people thought I was crazy for throwing away 6 years of training when I quit competing. I've watched competitions for 10 years. Pre-WNL, pre-age divisions, pre-people needing to show off tricks, and I cannot tell you how different courses are. Mary, I don't know if it even comes down to having more female coaches. I think it comes down to just poor course design and poor business practices. Competitions used to happen because the show was once a year and you might not get on, so all of the gyms back then would host comps as a way to see friends and to get stronger together, not to force people to stupid and possibly dangerous moves or to have failure rates of 100% because it's funny. People now have competitions because it's written into their monthly revenue, and they don't have coaches who are well-versed in anatomy, so they throw in movements that shouldn't be possible and obstacles and tricks that they themselves have practiced a million times. Kate the Synchro Ninja replying to Taylor Johnson, I gave up competing this season because the adult division for me is like how elite was for you. I'm twice the age of some of the competitors. Courses designed by, for a 19-year-old male just aren't fun for an almost 40 female. Any training I'm doing is for 2 seasons from now when I'm finally in Masters. I don't have a solution, but totally agree that there's so many issues. Allie says, 100% agree, and probably the main reason why I never returned to training after my pregnancy. I don't feel like I have anywhere to start or anywhere to fit in competition-wise. I've always felt that the course design needs to change to cater to female athletes. I'd love to hear more about this and contribute to the change if possible. This is only a snapshot of some of the amazing commentary and input that I got from various members of the community on this post. Please do go check it out. It is on the Commentator Ninja Instagram. Now, the resounding theme of all of these comments is that there's a need for change. There's not a space where female athletes, particularly in the adult division, feel as though they fit in within the sport. A lot of this, highlighted by Jenny's comments, is the way that courses are designed. So there are also some comments regarding Masters competition and the need for more age groupings, And we are actually going to talk about that in a future episode. So Masters, I have not forgotten about you guys. You're one of my favorite divisions. Secret, they're all my favorite. But we are going to talk a little bit about that in a future episode. So around the time that this reel came out was when the WNL made an announcement that at Worlds this year, they were going to have the teens, young adults, adults, and Masters females all on the same course. And this was in order to create a better experience for all athletes of all genders and make sure that they were appropriately challenged. I was personally very happy with this announcement because I had the opportunity to consult with the WNL early on in the Season 8 World Championship planning process, and I encouraged them to look at this split to make sure that they could make the appropriate adjustments for female athletes so that they had an overall better experience and more appropriate courses. I highlight my involvement in this because one, I am very proud to continue to be a part of the conversation that is making our sport better for female athletes and making it a more welcoming space for them to show off their talent and show off their hard work. I also just wanted to take a moment to highlight how the WNL showed up in these conversations. They were super receptive to the feedback. They didn't just take what I said and ran with it. They did their research as well. They made sure things were going to work out logistically. They made sure that the claims that I was making were backed up by data, which I think is really valuable for any organization to do when they're presented with feedback. And not only were they super receptive and willing to make a change that could have potentially ruffled some feathers for the betterment of the sport, but they've also been super great in working with myself and Neighborhood Ninjas to promote information regarding how to prevent sexual abuse in the ninja community, which is something that I really value. So I do have some props for the WNL in this episode, and here they are. Thank you guys for all that you are doing. So WNL made this big move of having separate courses for some female divisions. For the teens through the Masters, excluding elite, elite females still appeared on the same course as the male elite athletes with some minor adjustments. So I asked everyone, I wasn't able to be at Worlds myself, what their thoughts were and what their feedback was. And based on that feedback, overall, the feedback was very positive. Couple of comments, big step in the right direction, but a long way to go. Great, love the new changes. We think the changes were positive. Thank you for advocating for this. But there was some comments that were on the oppositional side. One comment in particular that I think is important to share. I thought it made the teen females appear weak to the WNL. All season they compete the same as teen males, and all of a sudden they're not strong enough. I think they could have modified like they did for elite females versus males. So to address this comment and also to evaluate, was this really overall a positive change? Let's take a look at the data from Worlds to see what these changes meant compared to last year's Worlds course data. Here we go. We'll do a breakdown of stage 1. For teen females, last year only 6% of athletes cleared stage 1 and 56% of athletes made it to the back half of the course. This year, teen females had a 30% clear rate, with 71% of the athletes making it to the back half. For young adult females, last year there were no stage 1 clears, and 34% of athletes made it to the back half of the course. This year, 12% of female young adults cleared stage 1, and 63% of them made it to the back half of the course. Moving on to the adult division, there were 0 finishers on the adult female side last year, and only 2% of the adult female athletes made it to the back half of the course. This year, still no finishers on the adult female side of things, but 50% of the athletes did make it to the back half of the course. In the Masters division last year, there were no clears on the female side, and no athletes made it to the back half of the course. This season, there still were not any clears, but 29% of the athletes did make it to the back half of the course. For elite females, the clear rate bumped up from 3% to 9%, and 41% made it to the back half of the course, compared to 37% last year. Although an improvement in clear rates can be seen, the female clear rate on stage 1 is still significantly lower than the males in season 8, who saw 26% of athletes clear stage 1 and 69% of athletes get to the back half of the course. It's a similar story across all divisions, with almost 3 times the percentage of male athletes clearing stage 1 when compared to females. There is an exception here in the teen division, where the female clear percentage was actually higher by about 6%. The results definitely show a significant improvement for female athletes over last year's results. So overall, I'm super happy that the WNL made the decision to separate the courses as well as make some adjustments for female athletes in the elite division. However, I will harken back to one of the previous comments from Instagram that said, great improvement, still a lot of work to do, a long way to go. And I'd really have to agree. In the young adult, adult, and masters female divisions, there were no clears of stage 2 in any of the divisions, with only 2 adult females making it to the back half of the course of stage 2, and also a handful of young adult females. And of those 3 divisions, only the young adult females managed to make it past the 3rd obstacle in stage 3. Another comment that I'll go back to was the comment made about teen female athletes. The comment was that going to a separate course made the female athletes appear weak to the WNL, and why couldn't they have just made some slight adjustments to the females course for the teen division like they did for elites. So I want to do a quick comparison of the results from the teen female division and the elite female division side by side. I do want to make it clear that doing this side by side comparison is in no way meant to take away from the strength and athleticism of the female athletes in the elite or teen division here. It is just a comparison of how they did on the courses that they were presented with.
For teen females this year, as we already stated, 30% of athletes cleared stage 1. Another 28% cleared stage 2, with the majority of athletes making it to the back half of the course as well. In stage 3, 5 athletes were able to clear, and 75% of athletes made it to the back half of the course. The battle for the World Championship podium in the teen female division was decided on stage 3, with 8 athletes in contention for the top spot at the start of the wave. On the elite female side, to recap, 9% of athletes finished stage 1, and 41% of athletes made it to the back half. In stage 2, the World Championship was decided in 5 obstacles, with only 25% of athletes making it to the 5th obstacle and none of them clearing the course. On stage 3, all female athletes who competed only made it to the 3rd obstacle.
I can understand how this idea of different courses or even courses with significant adjustments might be really difficult to digest. It was really difficult for me to digest at the whole beginning of this journey of analyzing whether or not separate courses was the right move for female athletes in the sport. However, the results don't lie. More female athletes across all female divisions progressed further in the competition than they ever have before. For the first time in WNL history, the teen female division world championship was decided on stage 3. That side-by-side comparison of the elite female division to the teen female division is probably the best example that I could possibly show you to convince you of the need for separate courses. Separate courses for so many reasons. Separate courses give female athletes more to train for than just 5 or 6 obstacles. Separate courses give us a chance, us being female athletes, to show what we're really capable of and what we have really been working towards, right? Separate courses encourage the younger female athletes that they have a future in this sport, a competitive future that is just as exciting for them as their current competitive experience is now. They're not going from, oh, I'm doing 3-stage competitions and working really hard to win them, to I just have to train for 5 or 6 obstacles now in order to be the winner. This is as much about equity for female athletes in the sport as it is just about growing the sport. An equally fun and challenging experience for male and female athletes is the way that Ninja should be. As a sport grows and evolves, as we grow and we evolve, I think that we have to understand that the way we're doing things is going to change. So we've all loved Ninja because of the fact at the beginning we were on the same course, right? It was us versus the course, trying to figure it out together, trying to learn from each other. That inclusivity, that idea of inclusivity, that everyone was welcome here, that everyone could succeed here, was what drew us in, right? But as we've evolved as a sport, as both men and women have pushed themselves to see what they are capable of, to see where that limit is, there is an undeniable physiological divide that has emerged. We can't allow this original idea that built inclusivity in our sport to now be the idea that we hold on to that actually excludes an entire faction of people from our sport from experiencing it fully, from truly being able to be successful in the sport. So, Season 9 is upon us. It's one thing to have a world championship event that promotes inclusivity for all athletes. But in order to get athletes to the world championship, they have to go to qualifiers. They have to go to regionals. They have to go to practice comps. How are you planning to design those courses? How are you planning to contribute to grow the sport of ninja for everyone?
Awkward camera angle because I forgot to film this. Also, casually peeked my A&W bib. This is Mary Layton, the commentator ninja, signing off.